Are you getting into the world of permanent jewellery, but hearing people talking about gas is freaking you out and you've no idea whether using it is the secret to massive success or a potential hazard? In this video, I'm going to talk you through what argon gas is, how it's used, and whether this little green canister could be the deciding factor in whether you smash it as a successful technician or make jewellery disasters, and how just learning all about argon will put you ahead of 90% of permanent jewellery technicians. So what even is argon gas, and what does it have to do with jewellery? Well, I remember something from science class. Argon is a noble gas. In short, noble gases are lazy. They don't react, they don't burn, they don't even have a smell. They just sort of sit there.
I'm fine, totally fine.
When most people think of welding, they picture a big mask, scary blue flame, and that's enough to make anyone nervous, right? And when we talk about using gas, students often think, wait, is this dangerous? And fear sets in. So is there anything to be scared of? Well, first of all, we need to understand what it is we're doing when we're making permanent jewellery, so we can understand what the heck argon gas is and what it has to do with any of it. When we're making permanent jewellery, we want to weld a gap in a loop of metal closed. And to do that, we touch a sharp piece of tungsten metal to the jewellery and pass an electrical current through it. This electricity produces heat, light and sound, and the heat is enough to melt the metal together, fastening the jewellery permanently into place. Well, that sounds simple enough, so what has argon gas got to do with any of it? Well, let me explain. When I say the word oxygen, it probably conjures up pleasant images. But oxygen is a gas that's around us in the air and it's actually pretty volatile. Think of a fire. You blow on a fire to make it burn hotter. That's because you're putting oxygen onto it. The whole reason we need to breathe oxygen ourselves is to burn fuel in our bodies. In short, this thug, well, he likes to make things burn hotter. So what does that mean for permanent jewellery? Well, the oxygen around us in the air when we're welding reacts with this process. It makes the metal burn really hot, really fast, and really aggressively, meaning bits of metal are more likely to come flying off. This guy. So is argon like this too? In comparison, argon is a calm, collected security guard. He doesn't react, he just stands in the way, making a shield, stopping that aggressive oxygen guy getting to the jewellery while we're welding. That is why we want him around. This means the metal heats up slower, cools slower, and the chances of bits flying off and burning your clients are so much less. He's not scary at all. And what does this mean for your finished pieces? Well, there are several problems with metal heating up and cooling quickly. Firstly, the welds are ugly. Fast, hot welds look a mess, and the heat makes them blacken too, and this can't be cleaned off easily. Second, when the metal heats up and cools fast, it becomes brittle, and in permanent jewellery, that means breakages, and that means unhappy clients. When students have come to us for help because they're getting high amounts of breakages, none of them were using argon gas. And having a bad reputation for jewellery breaking really can ruin your business. So I've convinced you that argon is your best mate for permanent jewellery, but how do you use it, and are there any risks at all with it? Well, the great thing is that all reputable jewellery welding machines, like the machines from Sunstone, is that they're designed to have argon gas running through them. The second that tungsten touches the metal chain, it triggers the machine to start the flow of argon. The only risks are that obviously we do need to breathe oxygen, so we don't want to be pushing all of it away, but it's such a small amount that comes out each time that a canister like this will do around 200 welds. Just make sure that you're working in a well-ventilated area. Argon is a pressurised container, which means you do have to be careful with it and secure it well when you're using it so it doesn't get kicked over or damaged. But that's honestly the same if you're handling an argon canister or a canister for your soda stream.
Get busy with the physics.
You do, however, need to be careful with the training you choose because nearly all permanent jewellery courses don't teach with argon. And this is why a lot of jewellers look down on our profession, because a lot of us are just not doing things correctly. You absolutely can weld without argon, but if you want to be successful and have a good reputation, then you shouldn't. So how do you know how to pick the right welding machine for your argon gas to run through? What's the best one on the market? Well, it is a confusing choice and it's a big investment, so you really do need to get it right. And that's why we cut the confusion with this video here. That's really busy.